Welcome to June 6th, 2023 Board of County Commissioners meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now have a moment of silence. All right, thank you. First of all, we have a public hearing about the sale of county forest property to accounts. Who's presenting? County Forester?
Or Lance.
Lance Morgan, Coos County Forester. This hearing is being held this morning at 9:30 regarding the sale of county forest. If approved, we will move forward with the sale. Order 23-05-27L has been prepared for the sale of tax ID number 581106 and 581105 containing approximately 4.27 acres located off, it says West Beaver Hill Road, it's actually 7 Devil.
I move we approve and sign order 23-05-027L for the sale of tax lot ID 581106 and tax lot 581105.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Can you describe the property?
Yeah, we should open it up for any comments.
Oh, I need to describe it first.
Okay, it's approximately 4.27 acres. It's out about 12.5 on 7 Devils Road. It's about a 4.5 acre grass flat. There's a house on, been subdivided into 2 parcels. There's a house on one side of it. It probably never grew a good tree since it's been agriculture for several years and neglected.
Okay,
And what would happen to the proceeds?
They'll go into the forest trust to buy more forest land.
Thank you.
it's in 2 parcels.
Correct.
They are distinct and can be
Yep.
parceled off from each other.
Buy one or both, and both of them are, could be built on.
What approximate age is that little house that's out there?
I think that thing was probably built in the 50s, probably.
Yeah, I'm
There was
guessing
added on
earlier, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's not real big.
No.
A couple bedrooms maybe.
Yeah, there's actually 3 bedrooms. Somebody built a little addition on it one time. It has 2 more bedrooms on it. So it's actually a 3 bedroom, 1 bath.
Oh,
I think it's still solid.
okay. Alrighty, any other discussion to the board?
No, sir.
Discussion by the public? Anybody? Online? Don't see any hands raised online. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're gonna go a little bit out of order.
I tried once.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I promise we'll do this quickly and then we'll go on to the sheriff. 3A.
Okay. We have received a bid from 3H Forestry and Land Management at the minimum price stated in timber sale DC-1-23, which did not sell our Oxon Hill May 3rd, 2023. They'll go further, the bid species at $464 per 1,000 board feet, and that's the bid we got for the sale.
Okay, I'm looking.
Move to award timber sale BC 123 to 3H Forestry and Land Management at the stated prices in the contract.
Then
I
second.
second that.
Okay, discussion? Board?
This would bring in over $1.5 million of revenue to the county.
Probably 1.6, I believe.
Thank you.
Okay. Discussion by the public? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to,
Yeah, the ATV brand.
Is that mine?
Oh, I can do it.
You better do
Yeah, okay.
I'll stand here.
Same.
next we're going to late agenda item 5A, Request approval idea with Coquille School District Sheriff and Coquille School. Morning, Sheriff.
Thank you for the sincerely, I apologize. I have a bit of a medical emergency to get you after this. Jeff Riggio, this is Julie Simpson, who's the secretary for the Tokyo School District, Wayne Gallagher, who is the superintendent. So we've been in talks for a little while now. Pretty darn excited about this. It's pretty unusual for a sheriff's office to have a school resource officer, which is what we're talking about. But if there is a precedent, we're actually, I think we want to be able to get the policies and procedure from another county to plagiarize, which is wonderful. But going forward, we are hoping to provide a full-time officer, deputy, to the Tokyo School District for helping all 5 of the schools here with lots of different programs. And this will be funded by the Tokyo School District, having in there the vehicle, everything that the person that we designate will need for the next 2 years going forward. So that's what this contract's about. Really, really excited about the opportunity to better serve the community and outreach that, to my knowledge, we in Goose County have never done. So pretty neat. Going forward. We asked Mr. Gallagher in case you have any questions, but that's the gist of it. It's a contract.
Well, assuming that you would not impose Sean on the school. I would move that we approve IGA between Tokyo School District and the Goose County Sheriff's Office.
You have a second?
Hardy second.
Do we have discussion on the board?
Just a thank you for thinking of us. And we could work together. I think that's very important that all forms of government we work together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would opine that in this season of post defund the police, that this is exactly what we need to be seeing happen, and I'm just thrilled. Thank you for approaching the sheriff with this. Really appreciate that, and thank you, Sheriff, for your work on this. I think it's going to be a win for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. So largely Captain Samuel and these guys working together and doing a wonderful job. We have a lot of exciting plans, like driver's training. It's a service through ODOT. They have a program that our guy can provide to the kids, and just better interaction, better integration with the children. And this is what we do. We're humans, so pretty darn good. Yeah.
Anything else for the board?
No, sir.
Public? Comment?
Yes. I want to say something.
Rob Taylor on, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm all for the resource officer, but I got to tell you, the sound is horrible. You guys are echoing, coming back through the feedback when we hear you.
So are you.
So are you.
That's weird.
Just to let you know.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Rob.
And it's very faint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Good job.
All right, the 3B, request approval of ATV grant program, authorized chair to sign. Council.
Coos County is the recipient of a grant from the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department for operations and maintenance of the Winchester Trail System, which is located on the Coos County Forest. The proposed agreement runs through June 30th, 2024, and will provide the county with a maximum reimbursement of $57,793. The county may be required to provide a match valued at $15,503. The majority of that is through donated labor, equipment, and tools provided by Coos Riders Association and the WRC MBA, which is the West, some sort of mountain biking association, though I can't remember all
Western
the
Regional
parts of that
Association.
acronym. It's a long one.
All right, Chief, motion.
I move we approve the ATV grant program agreement with the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department and authorize the chair to sign.
Do a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion?
I would point out that this is the motorbike trail through our forest. we have about 25 miles of these types of trails. It's in addition to the Whiskey Run mountain bike trails, which are about 30 miles. I sat in on the competition for this grant. Despite that, we got the grant, much thanks to our trail builder, Eddie Kessler. He's very well respected by the towns of the Oregon Parks and Recreation. They even asked him for advice. He's that well known and thought of in the trail making business. And I understand our use of the trail has improved considerably since the improvements that were made under this grant. So, still back on that.
Nope. From the public, any comments? Now, you should know that Coos Redders is the ones who have motocross out at Riley Ranch, the same folks, so they're donating, in this case, all their time and effort for the match, which isn't the county. We lease that to them out at Riley. And so they're very interested in maintaining this, of course, but also helping out where they can. Anybody from the public want to come in? Online? I'm getting more used to this online thing. Hearing none, all fair?
Aye.
3C, request approval amendment 1 of IGA 170660 with Oregon Health Authority and authorized chair to sign Coos Health and Wellness. Eric.
Morning.
Good
Morning.
First amendment of IGA 170660, Environmental Health Service Fiscal Biennium 2023 to 2029, extends contract expiration date, increased pool and spa program license fee to $90 for each issued by the LPHA and decreases remittance factor to 12.22% of licensing revenue.
Okay, motion.
I move we approve amendment number 1 to intergovernmental agreement 170660 with the Oregon Health Authority and authorized chair to sign.
Do you have a second? Okay. LPHA is the local public health authority. Yeah. Okay, any comments from the board?
Decreases remittance factor to 12.2. What is the remittance to whom? What is the remittance about?
As soon as I read it, I didn't know what the heck it meant.
Okay.
Okay.
Usually, remittance factors are 10%.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So Eric, you read it and then you were hoping that.
I read it and went, man, I hope he doesn't ask me that question. Which makes sense that you asked me that question.
Yeah.
All right. What's the current fee? So we're increasing it to 90. All right.
From 89 or $1? We don't know.
Do you know?
I could find it.
Oh,
Yeah, I can look it up.
okay.
I'll come back.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't think the decision hinges on that, but I was curious.
Yeah. All righty, any comments from the public? Hearing none, all-
This is an annual license fee, or is it a one-time license?
Yeah, for the pools.
will be annual.
And so, do we have ongoing inspection of pool facilities from the?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick does. Yeah, our environmental health.
Okay. Right. I'm good.
Okay. All righty, all in favor?
Aye.
Somehow preparation might help in the future.
I thought I knew.
3D, request approval amendment 7 to IGA 173131 with OHA. Authorize Director Rowley to sign DocuSign.
Seventh Amendment to Behavioral Health IGA 173131 provides funding for the period of January 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. Grant award increase of $138,789 supports mobile response and stabilization services for children, youth, and their families.
Motion?
Move to approve Amendment 7 to IGA 173131 with Oregon Health Authority and authorize Department Head Mike Rowley to DocuSign.
Is that date correct?
Through 6/30/23.
Yeah. It's January this year through June of this year. That's correct.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, it is correct.
We're almost not making it, huh?
We will get another contract for next July.
Just a kind of a question.
Yeah.
Just seems like they're right on top of it.
Are you saying, Dave, that we'll get that in July? We'll have an agreement that'll be for the second half of the year?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. It's not the only illustration of delay at the state.
Let's not be too critical. In addition to this, they provide us well over $4 million.
Well, this really will help really provide better follow-up care for our youth, even all youth, even those that are underserved, will get services.
Okay, any comments from the public? Seeing none, hearing none, online? None? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
3E, request approval of contract with Ready Group, authorized chair to sign.
Public Health, in conjunction with the Ready Group, will co-create a 5-year agency strategic plan to develop assessment plans and assessment tools for public health.
Okay, motion?
Strategic plan.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I move we approve contracts with Ready Group and authorize chair to sign.
Wait a second.
I second.
Okay, discussion by the board?
So we're developing assessments, plans, and assessment tools for health equity, climate, and health adaptation. What is climate and health adaptation?
I don't know what you was referring to with climate adaptation. Climate adaptation highlights raising words increase in severe weather events that occur throughout the local area that we're in. So just looking at ways for us to be prepared with our emergency management to make sure that the health portion of that disaster or severe weather increases our planning.
Are severe weather events increasing historically? Are you a meteorologist?
I am not a meteorologist.
I think
This is from our modernization plan from the state that we're receiving. This is part of all the plans that we have.
I think you could consider the wildfire smoke that we have a tendency to get stuck with over on the coast, even though we're not near the wildfires, to be a public health concern for the health and safety of the community. And that could be based on climate, based on just that it was hot and there was a fire. So I think that there's things that we are hit with outside of extreme weather. It's pretty mild on the coast. But
Customer service delivery, retention of staff, increase in training.
Yeah. Thanks, Anthony.
Any more for the board?
No.
Public, comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the 3F, request approval to terminate subscription agreement with Patagonia Health. Authorized Mike Rowley sign.
Public Health currently uses Patagonia software for their electronic health records. Goose Health and Wellness would like to transition Public Health's electronic health record to Office Ally. The software used for behavioral health medical records Well, actually, never mind. Nope. I have an older form. So just to Office Ally, which is a new program we'll be using. This will allow all medical records to be maintained and accessed on Office Ally. But we have to get what's in Patagonia out. And they have I guess, a specific caveat. We have to.
Okay, motion?
Move to approve subscription agreement termination with Patagonia Health and authorize Mike Rowley to sign.
Do a second?
Second.
Discussion on the board?
What is this going to? Oh, I see, $16,000. Yes.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
Discussion by the public? Hearing none, online? No, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to request approval to hire Lisa Swinney at step 3, health and wellness area.
This one has been pulled, Commissioner. She informed us that she is not going to take the position.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 3H, request approval to hire Katrinka McReynolds.
Coos Health and Wellness advertised for a prevention services program manager, and current employee Katrinka Reynolds was the only applicant. Request approval to start Katrinka at step 3, which would represent an increase of $215 per month. Step 2 would actually be a pay cut.
Move to approve starting Katrinka McReynolds at step 3, pay grade 784, effective June 1st, 2023.
Second. Okay. Any discussion? No?
Well, actually, I'll just say that I think Katrinka is a phenomenal asset to the county. So
I absolutely 100% agree with you. I used to be her supervisor, and she is an amazing person.
Yeah,
She does
so
wonderful.
I don't know if
She made it out alive.
she's not online, but Katrinka, if you watch the recording of this, thank you for the great work you do.
Okay, for the public?
Pam Lewis Coquille. I want to give an added girl to Katrinka. Worked with her briefly when I was over at CHW. Fabulous employee, wonderful human being. Kudos to you, Katrinka. I love what you do. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Thank you.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the 3I, request approval to hire Jennifer Bray, step 3.
Coos Health and Wellness advertised for a mental health specialist 3 to take over the ACT and ESA team. Jenny Bray has been performing the duties in the interim due to a vacancy. Jenny Bray was the only applicant for the position. We request approval to start her at step 3 of the program manager, MHS 3 pay grade. This position does involve additional duties and functions compared to other mental health specialist 3 positions as it relates to the 24/7 nature of the ACT team. These duties include after-hours, weekend support, and supervision of staff engaged in crisis responses duties, including the management and oversight of this function. It also includes periodic direct after-hours crisis coverage, including travel throughout the county as needed to ensure 24/7 support to ACT clients.
Okay, motion?
Move to approve starting Jennifer Bray at step 3 of pay grade 823, effective June 1st, 2023.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Fill us in on ACT and ESA.
ACT is our assertive community treatment, and we have a number of folks on there that are in the severe and persistent mentally ill population that need a lot of work, and the case managers go out and actually try to meet them where they're at, get them to the appointments that they need, ensure that they have the safety plans and resources that they need to be successful. It's a pretty great program, and they do a lot of work in the community with our severely mentally ill. ESA, I don't have the background as much on ESA as David would, just because it's kind of evolved.
ESA is designed for people that are likely to have early psychosis. So it was really designed for young people with schizophrenia develop it early, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this program is designed for early detection because the prognosis if you get treatment early is a lot better than if you wait until several years down. So it's really geared up to try to help prevent the long-term consequences of schizophrenia, which are not good for many people.
And you were who? You were who? For the public.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Big deal for you all.
There you go. And for anybody else that wants to comment, please come up because the sound can't pick you up wherever you are, clear in the back someplace, as an example. Okay, David.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, David. All right.
I was in awe of the breadth and depth of the programs that we have available to this community through Coos Health and Wellness. Thank you. It's a lot.
Okay, anything else from the board? From the public? Online? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. 3J, request approval of repurposed ARP funds and approved purchase of portable bleachers fair.
Thank you, Eric.
Oh my gosh, half the audience is coming up.
Good morning, Brad. Garris.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Garris Boudelier. I'm a Coos County Fair and Rodeo Board member. I have with me Brett Burnett, Coos County Fair Board President, Gary Higa, for the board. So we're coming to you today with this request. When we started the rodeo arena improvement project, we were hoping to get grants to cover most of those costs. The Board of Commissioners at the time did approve some ARP funding in case we came up short on some of those grants that we were applying for. Fortunately, we did receive most of those grants and we did not have to spend a large majority of that ARP funding that was set aside. We are asking to repurpose some of that money that we didn't spend before to help cover costs of the rock base and drainage for some of these projects. Also some fall protection for some older bleachers that we have. They're used for the youth auction. And so they're pretty heavily used by a lot of people during that. Another item that we didn't get on here that we wanted to include was also the stripping chutes that finishes off the rodeo project to the tune of about, was it like $4,000? I think it's not to exceed. I think it's not to exceed six.
I approved repurposing of $38,352 of ARP funds to purchase portable bleachers,
Thank you, John.
rock-based drainage material, retrofit kits for the safety of existing bleachers, and stripping chutes to complete or help complete the rodeo upgrade.
Thank you.
I would like us to emphasize, for safety's sake, the retrofit of the existing bleachers before we engage in buying new chairs. Those are real safety issues, having adequate backs and sides for the bleachers. So before we go out and buy new ones, just make sure the ones we have are in good shape.
Yes, sir.
I think that, I guess I would de-emphasize, if you have to choose among things, de-emphasize buying as many new bleachers. I think you get some part. I may be wrong on that, but let's make sure the new ones, the old ones are working, and let's make sure we have the stripping chutes to complete the fine work that Gary and Keith and others have done on upgrading our rodeo.
Will do.
So you're gonna do that in motion?
I thought I said I moved.
Need a second then? Okay.
All right.
It was a bit lengthy, but all right.
Well, you can narrow the motion down. I just want to give some guidance to what I hope that's okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely. Bobby will keep us
I
honest.
will follow that rather circuitous motion with a simple second.
You're bold.
Thank goodness. Any discussion? Any discussion with the audience? Online? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank goodness.
Thank you.
Request approval of transfer of funds, fair 3K.
So the next item, our new fair office manager last year, and then run up the fair to get acclimated with all the procedures, and then through fair to keep it running, and then after fair to get it all wrapped up. Accrued quite a bit of overtime. She's taken some of it, but it's quite a bit, and we need to get it off the books. Finance would love to see us take that. So what we'd like to do is pay her the remainder, which is $12,009.71. And in order to do that, we need to transfer $16,278.
Okay, motion?
I move we approve resolution 23-05-104B, transfer fair funds from utilities line item to wages.
Okay, second. Ready? Discussion? Hearing none. Audience?
Aye. Oh,
Now aye.
oh,
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. 3L, purchase of Cisco dual multi-factor authentication program. Darius.
Now I'm Darius Boudelier, Director of Information Technology for the county.
hello, Darius.
Good morning.
Yeah, that amazing transformation.
Before Gary and Bradley, excuse me, Darius, and Bob for interrupting, but I can't say enough about the work that's going on at the fairgrounds. Gary, it's just amazing what you do. I don't know how your wife puts up with your being gone so much. And Keith, right hand man, and there's others that are doing it. They happen to be here, and it's turning something that was badly degraded into something the county can really be proud of.
So,
Just a minute for a short report.
Gary
We
Hagan.
finished up.
Introduce yourself.
Gary Hagan, Fair Board. The Morrow Arena has got all new fencing on 3 sides. We have a new set of bleachers there, and it's completely done except for the new sign that's going to go on the gate. The brand new bleachers that seat 700 people are installed in front of the grandstands and ready for use. ODOT is donating us a light pole to use for our new flagpole. Pacific Power is donating their time next week to put up the new light poles for us. And that's pretty much where we're at right now, with several other small projects going on. The compost pile out back, we're working on that. It looks like Sea Coast Compost is going to take part of that, and anybody else that wants to, it's free. Just come and get it. Trying to get that pile to disappear. So those are the projects we're working on right now.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Anything,
Thank
Brad?
you, Brad. And Darius has been a big part of all this.
I just wanted to say thank you. You've given us a ton of support, and we can't thank you enough. We wouldn't get these projects done if we didn't have the support of the commissioners, the public that comes out and volunteers and helps. People like Gary. Gary has now lived at the fair, I think, for the last year and a half, so we really appreciate him, and we're looking forward to having him again. Best fair we've ever had. We're gonna keep doing this year in and year out if we can. So, thank you guys very much. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. All right.
I'm not sure how I'm going to follow that, but
Okay, back to
yeah, I know. So I'm coming to you today to ask for authorization to purchase Cisco Duo multi-factor authentication, not only for the county, but also to include Coos Health and Wellness. This is an industry best practice and has been for probably at least the last 5 to 10 years. What it does is it provides a second opportunity to identify yourself when you're connecting to systems. So not just your username and password, but now it's another piece of information you have to have. With the ransomware attacks that have been happening very frequently lately, a lot of what the threat actors do is they gain access to a computer in the system, and then they start jumping around and exploiting some bugs in the system to get onto other systems. What this would do is prevent that jump from one box to another. So it would significantly minimize the damage that could be done if a system is compromised. We looked at 3 different systems. We looked at Cisco Duo, we looked at RSA, and then we looked at another one by a company called Okta. The Okta one was very expensive, probably way more than we needed. It was very expensive. It was a very good system, but I don't think we benefit from those advantages. The RSA and the Duo were pretty comparable. The feedback we got was the Duo was a little bit more user-friendly. And the quote we got for Cisco Duo is covered under one of the state of Oregon purchasing agreements. So that's the one that the 2 organizations would like to purchase and leverage to protect our data and our system.
Okay.
Move to approve the purchase of Cisco Duo licenses and tokens in the amount of $16,282.50.
Consent?
Second.
All right, discussion by the board?
A little bit of advice from me.
Yes, sir.
Request. How much earlier will I have to come in and give it my business IT skills to sign off?
That's a great question. So I put the application on my county issued cell phone, which is what we're going to ask any county employee or any Coos Health and Wellness employee that's been issued a cell phone. We'll put the app on that.
Your phone's
Pat's calling me from the office. So what happens is you log in, you put your username and password, and a little screen comes up and says, do you want to push a notification or do you want to enter a passcode? I hit push, I open my phone, I say okay, and I'm in. We're going to set that up so that, if you get in for an hour or 2, you won't have to do it again. If you log off and go to a meeting and then come back in, you'll be okay. So we'll try to adjust it to make it as user-friendly, but it's very easy to use. Because I'm a system administrator and I'm logging into other computers all day long, it's really not that bad. I to be honest with you, I don't mind it. The nice thing is not having to enter in a number. Now, if you don't have a county issued cell phone, you will be issued a token and you're going to have to look at that token and get your number and put it in. That's a little more difficult, but if you've got a county issued or a CHW issued cell phone, it's pretty painless. It's not going to take you half an hour to log in. No, it won't. I swear on my.
Okay, that's recorded.
Yeah.
If we have problems.
Oh,
Now I will say, if you forget your cell phone like I did one day last week, they issued me a temporary passcode, and for the day I had to use that little number that they gave me. They made it good for 8 hours. And I just had to put a Post-it on my desk for that day. And then we expired it at 5, and I went home and got my cell phone, and I was back up and running the next day. It's a good system, and it's going to minimize the damage that we've seen from some of these incidents. A lot of those, the ones where the damage was pretty high, they didn't have something like this deployed.
Okay. Thank you for your good work. I'm kidding about that.
No, I know. And it's, it frustrates me. When I started IT almost 30 years ago, it was about hooking up computers and making people's lives easier. Now, probably 40% of my day and my budget is spent trying to fight cybercrime. And that's not how I want to spend my time or money.
It's important that we're thankful that we have you.
It just frustrates me that I'm fighting fraud because somebody's too lazy to get a job.
So, in the future, we'll start board meetings at 10:30. So, John, can you get ready? Or at least have help by IT.
I think you're going to find, as long as you don't forget your cell phone, I think you're going to find that it's.
That's half the problem, right?
Oh,
That's another problem.
I did it last week. I just told you I did it last week. Forgot
He
my
doesn't even
phone.
have it with him now.
Wasn't my office. I don't want to be interrupted.
See?
And I don't want to interrupt people. And I will point out I would ask this question, who was the first commissioner to be signed on this morning?
That's because I had to get a copy. Otherwise, we were done before you even got going.
I don't care about you.
Boys, Bobby, can you do something about these guys?
All right.
We're in a public meeting here.
Do we have any comments from pertinent comments from the public? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We have enough fun with that one. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to take a little break here for, there's a certain other person in the audience while we recognize Fair Board helpers. Mr. Keith Lewis is here. Come on up, Keith, so we can get you on camera. It's not what you did do, it's what you've been doing and helping out at the fair. Keith is a retired, long time road department employee who's retired now. Has been out at the fair for I don't know how long.
Last year was 2 full months.
2 months, yeah, full time, volunteering, helping out with the construction projects and all that kind of stuff. We recognize Keith too, because we had the other 2 folks here besides Derek. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.
3M, request approval of 23-24 court security expenditure plan. Thomas from State Court.
Mr. Langford.
Commissioners, Thomas Langford from State Courts. I will say for you, multi-factor authentication is not going to be a heavy lift. You're going to get used to it. We've been doing it now.
I'm so
With
relieved.
State Courts for just over 2 years. And we have UV keys that also plug in as well when we're offsite on the laptop. So it's going to be a no-brainer once you do it. It's going to be.
That's what I need.
You're going to be fine. You're in good hands. So I'm here today to request the approval of our expenditure plan for FY24 for the court security funding account. Typical things in that plan, which include regular costs for the sheriff's office, for training and equipment. We have an ongoing project that deals with doors and access points that we're working on that's still in association from the closure of the North Bend Annex that we're hoping to round out here in the next couple of months. There's also costs that we're projecting potentially adding a fence structure for secure parking for in between the courthouse and the jail. That would obviously require approval from the BOC before that project can move forward, but we are in the process of getting quotes for that. So we anticipated some of those costs for the expenditure plan moving forward. So those would be costs that wouldn't be incurred from the county. So today, just requesting approval of the expected expenditure plan for the FY24 cycle from court security funding.
Motion?
Move to approve the plan and expenditure authority for 2023-24 fiscal year 24 court security.
No, second.
Next second.
Discussion?
Have these been included in our budget? Yeah. Good. Thank you.
That one. Megan knows that information.
I didn't want to.
I was going to say sure. I don't know how legit sure it is. It's not my budget.
We seem to have a lot of indecision this board meeting.
Such as
All right, any other discussion by the board? Discussion by the public? Discussion online? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
It's unfortunate to have you here most of the time.
Not all.
You're right.
All righty. 3N, request approval order adopting road name Salmon Gulch Road. Jill. Salmon Gulch Road.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
Salmon Gulch Road is actually, has a road sign, but it was never officially adopted into the road inventory, so we couldn't address off of it. We recently had, not recently, it's been a little while ago, we had a 911 issue, so it was brought to our attention that we needed to name it and provide the addresses off of it. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So this is in the matter of adopting an official name of a road, Salmon Gulch Road, located off of Merle Creek Road, southeast of the city of Merle Point, order number 23-05-029PL.
You have a motion?
Move we approve order number 223-05-029PL.
No, second?
Second.
Discussion by the board?
Is this a county maintained road or a local access road?
I'm not sure. I was
County.
like, I'm not sure I really know that answer. No, I'm pretty sure you're right. That's why I know it's like everything.
Okay.
It just
Thank
failed
you.
to get adopted into the 911 addressing.
So is this a hopeful name? Because we don't have much for salmon anymore.
It's actually a historical name.
Tongue in cheek.
Just
Any other discussion?
a couple years.
Meaningful discussion by the board, by the audience, by the online. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move approval of the consent calendar.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 418. Commission reports.
Well, what a couple of weeks. You know, we continue to struggle with the concept of the budget issue we're going to be facing in a couple of years, and we don't really have a solution for that yet, but have had a number of discussions around some potential solutions for that. And I will be moving forward with plans to pursue the at least a test case of the volunteer contribution program that takes a couple of different formats. One is a mailer that goes out with tax forms. Another is a mailer that probably goes out before property taxes go out, so we can get an early jump on getting a read about what kind of response this program will elicit. I'm very hopeful that it will make an impact, or that it will be impactful enough to really make a difference in our budgeting. Been dealing with a number of issues around frustrations and problems getting projects through community development. And so I've worked on a number of those case by case and have been finding good responsiveness from community development on trying to advance those projects. And I am planning to convene a team of people to focus on evaluating and delineating what the problems are and what the successes are, so we can do a better job of moving the things that aren't done so well into an excellent category. The central principle there is, let's find our easiest path and quickest path to yes in planning that we can, and make sure that we're taking full advantage of the local control that is afforded to us now by having building codes here in this building, and that really should put that control, or the placement of that control under our roof, really puts the onus on us to make sure that it's all working exactly right. We can't defer that to the state, so we've got to get it right. Yesterday, I was not in the office. I was up in Portland in the federal courthouse to hear the introductory arguments in the 4 cases that are all being tried simultaneously around Measure 114. And I felt that it was very important to have commissioner representation in the room. That was echoed as true in the room as we interacted with different people throughout the day. But one thing that, and I take this as a great encouragement, and I hope that most people in attendance here do. I found that the state is the defendant in these cases, in all of them. It's either the governor or the secretary of state or the attorney general, or a combination of those in the 4 different cases. And we were hearing arguments presented on all 4 cases. So we had 10 lawyers on the other side of the bar yesterday, and several behind the bar as well, for space reasons. So, but one thing that I heard consistently was that the arguments, the lines of questioning that the state was pursuing were all based on emotion and a singular type of interpretation of the history of the Second Amendment. That's it. Those were the only two things that they argued on. And the feeling that we got from the lines of questioning from the two sides was that the state is really grasping for some kind of footing to stand on. And it really looked pretty pathetic. So I hope that the judge has seen this the same way through the duration of the trial. And this is going to be ongoing all week. So if anybody has the time to go up there and attend, I encourage that. I know that's not a county issue, but it does concern those of us here in the county, because this is the violent abrogation of our Second Amendment rights, and we have to stand against it. So that's what we're doing. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Good report. John?
Just looking back over the last couple of weeks, I think I know all three of us attended on the 16th of May, a Powers Town Hall meeting. We had a nice turnout up there, a lovely evening. We were able to sit outside and have a nice exchange of ideas with the citizens of Powers. On the following day, I traveled to Roseburg, as you I'm sure are all aware that Roseburg Forest Products is making a major investment in southwestern Oregon, something in the neighborhood of $750 million. 50 million of that will go to the plant here in Coquille for the purpose of putting in a new dryer system, which incidentally will use a lot more of the gas that comes through the county's pipeline and help us that way as well. They won't be employing more people here, but they will be doing a better job increasing the value of the facility to their company. Very encouraging to see people investing in forest industry in the Pacific Northwest. There's been a huge flow of money, including Lewisburg Forest Products to other parts of the country. So they've kind of come home, and they have asked under the law of the state for financial assistance, I guess it is, through some tax breaks offered under the strategic investment plan program the state has. And the state does a great job of having programs that cost counties money. But the state does participate in this one, and so we've had a hearing on that, and we'll be hearing more about that shortly. Was in Salem on the 22nd. There's a move afoot to upgrade the Oregon Coast Trail, which is a hiking trail that would be somewhat equivalent to the Cascade. What do we call it? It's Cascade Pacific Crest Trail. Oh, Pacific Crest Trail. Right now, we advertise ourselves as having a trail along the ocean. Unfortunately, a large part of it is on the edge of the highway. So there's move afoot to close the gap and improve some of the routing of that. And hopefully will play a significant role in that. Hiking is becoming increasingly popular. I think we can work together to do that. We had another town hall meeting in Bandon, and that was nicely attended at the Bandon barn, they call it, although it wasn't in the original barn, but it truly was a barn and a dance hall. I remember that growing up. Great place to go. Well attended. Had the I had what, 25, 30 people?
Yeah, the best yet.
Around you. It really was a good meeting. That same day, I have the privilege of being a board member with a relatively new foundation in town, Judith Ann Mogan Foundation. Judith Ann Mogan is the sole heir to the Al Pierce Company estate, and she's lost her husband. They had no children. She's the sole heir. She was trying to think of a way to better commemorate the things that her father Al Pierce had done for this county. which was largely to provide a lot of jobs. But along the way, he had accumulated quite a bit of timberlands, and so Judith Ann decided to sell those timberlands and put that money into a foundation that would benefit all of Coos County, Curry County, and southern or western Douglas County. The foundation, she put $40 million into this foundation, and that's been invested. And of course, investments have gone down, so the foundation's been worth quite $40 million today, but it'll come back up. And they have grants of about $1 million a year they give away. And we started that grant process with receipt of $6 million of requests. They've already been generous to the county, if not the foundation itself, Al Pierce. They donated $25,000 to the new bleachers that are installed at the rodeo arena at the fairground. We had a public hearing regarding the strategic investment plan, and we had a meeting regarding our jail medical program. I think most of you are well aware that the company that was providing the medical care at the jail has chosen to withdraw essentially from the state of Oregon. And so we explored different options. It was amazing. We had amazing community support at these meetings. The Coalfield Valley Hospital, Pam was right there. She offered help. It was really rewarding to see the level of community help that just came forth to help us. In the end, I think we have found another company that provides these services that is stepping up and will do the same. That's pretty much not a significant difference over what we had been paid, which is around $1 million a year, so it's no small item. Earlier this week, the three of us went to Sturman Park, and new entertainment or recreational program in town. They have these rail cars that you can get on and pedal. They're custom made. They're made with aluminum frames, and we enjoyed the day, and we got to ride in these cars. It didn't go very far. You have to pedal yourself. Although I had 3 ladies on my cart, so let them do all the work in the name of gender equality. And then yesterday I went down to visit the fairground. I think we talked about that quite a bit today. But I'll have to say the work that's been done there and continues to be being done is remarkable. And, we have something that we can really be proud of. Met yesterday afternoon then with the owner of a piece of property across which the surfing community has been accessing the surfing grounds at Lighthouse Beach. And although it's not directly a county issue, it can either add to or detract from what this county has to offer if that access is not kept open. So we're working kind of behind the scenes on that issue. And that concludes my report.
Alrighty. Amongst all the things that were mentioned, we had a meeting, and we're not finished yet, on homeless camping. That is, you realize how complicated it was going to be. We've had 2, 3 meetings about that now, and we're still not finished.
At least 3.
Yeah. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on their court case about homeless camping. We have to abide by it, apparently, because there wasn't any appeal to it. And then the state had a similar legislative quote enactment. So every city, every county is going through the same thing of trying to determine how and where and when they're going to have homeless camping. One of the things was, okay, instead of, there's 2 thoughts. Either say where it can be or where it can't be and let people figure out where it might be, which doesn't seem too good to me. So I think we came down to, so far, why do we care where they camp as long as it's fairly safe along County Road overnight and then move on the next day? Okay, if there's a white spot and they're there overnight and they're gone the next day, so what? I mean, it could be anybody besides homeless folks. It doesn't matter. It could be the people with their $1 million motorhome. In certain cases, they got tired of driving and they pulled over and just legally took off the next day. It doesn't matter. Or had a tent. It really doesn't matter. So we had interesting discussions about that. Also, I didn't know, but this morning I received an email from a lady and said, what happened to the UPS, United Parcel Service drop box in the inside doors in front of the courthouse? I didn't know. Apparently there wasn't enough usage, so UPS pulled it. So I don't know of another place to have a drop box for UPS in Coquille. If somebody does, let me know. I don't know.
Put in Myrtle Point.
There's apparently one in Bandon, and obviously in North Bend, there's the regional station there out past the airport. But as far as that goes, I don't know where there's another one.
No, they do it anymore.
Ours
Pharmacy in Myrtle Point's the closest one.
Oh, the Schindler?
No, not Schindler's.
Semper's, I mean? Yeah. Oh, Schindler's in Bandon, never mind. Got it confused. Yeah, Semper's in Myrtle Point is maybe the closest. Instead of going all the way to Coos Bay. All righty, with that, we have public comments. Phil Thompson has a question mark, so he's going to decide what he wants to talk about when he gets up here, I guess.
This is the agenda for Tuesday. I'm gonna wait. Let's see, you have a meeting at 30 on the roads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right. Okay. Anybody else in the audience here? Pam Lewis, come on up.
Phil, we're figuring on closing one more road, and that's yours while you're behind the gate.
We will send food.
Down there.
Pam Lewis, Coquille. I was, let's see, how do I say this delicately? I don't want to be critical, but I want to ask you, have a request. I would request of our commissioners to have CHW give a more professional presentation, be more professionally prepared with their request. It felt a little bit like we were almost going to rubber stamp what they're talking about. Again, I don't want to be critical, I really don't. But to be able to answer the questions that are put to them, I would like them to be more professionally prepared. So that's my request, that you would require that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen.
Anybody else in the audience? How about online?
Okay, you can hear me?
Hello? Real Cousins?
Can you hear me?
It's really faint.
Okay, this
Hang
isn't
on a
working.
minute, we're gonna have the sound guy go. Try
That's
and-
okay.
Hang on.
I'll write something to send to road departments, so no problem. I'll put it in writing. I'm on the same thing. So,
I was going to put it in writing.
Okay.
Are you going to email all of us, Rayleigh? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I just want to thank you, so I'll do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Rob Tanner, he's still on there. Usually he has something to say.
No, I don't want to say anything because the sound system is so screwed up right now.
All right, Keith? Anyone else? Hearing none? Thank you all. We're adjourned.